Hey there, buddy. It's winter outside, and that means I'm going to be installing some big studded fat meats on one of my bikes, and I'm going to use a carbon fiber tire lever to do it. That's right, we're going to use this bad boy. This is by a brand called Affinity, based in New York, and what you see before you is a carbon fiber tire lever. So on my scales, this weighs in at about 13 grams. Compare that to the tried and true Pedro's lever. This is about 21 grams. So you can see, for comparison's sake, the carbon fiber lever definitely a lot thinner and slimmer and straighter than the Pedro's lever. The working edge is also a little bit different here. This is a little bit more curved. It does come to a thinner point at its thinnest point. This one does curve but maintains a little bit more thickness. And the Pedro's retails for about $3 to $5, and I think this one comes in at $25. And I know what's happening already. Let's see, which one is it? So expensive! Someone has already written, not even 40 seconds in, yes, it does cost more than the injection molded plastic Pedro's tire lever because it is carbon fiber. So hipster, well, technically, if it were hipster, this would be made out of reclaimed barn wood, but since it's carbon fiber, I would say that this is actually so roady. Marketing BS. Amazingly, folks, I don't know if you've realized this, but just because I review something on the channel doesn't mean you have to buy it. Doesn't even mean I'm telling you to buy it. I'm just experimenting with it and seeing if it actually works and giving you my thoughts. I just want to see if this is going to be tough enough to put on this big studded fat meats, which happens to be a brand new tire by 45 North. This is the 27.5 by 2.1 inch Kava tire. Kava, 60 TPI. Not the typical super supple 120 TPI and beyond. So this weight weenie okay roady tire lever has its work cut out for it to get this on. Let's see if it works. So before I start using it, I will point out that, someone's probably already writing this in the comments, does not have the traditional gap here, hook area, where one would attach the tire lever to a spoke while using it. Yes, this is useful, but I also can't think of the last time I've used this feature on the Pedro's. Typically, I just use the business end. All right, enough yammering. Let's get down to business. Oh, geez, there's sealant in here. Yep, this is sealant in the tire tube. Doable, does help prevent punctures, but kind of messy, sloppy, pain in the butt. And not the quickest to drain out air either. All right, so grabbed the Stan's valve core tool, listed it in my stocking stuffer guide, or stocking specific gifts for cyclists to be precise. And yeah, yes folks, this is a tubed tire. You remember those? The tire I'm removing, for those that are interested, are the Tervale Ramparts light and supple version. Okay, so let's see if we can get this in there. All right, so first off, fairly easy to get under the bead here. Again, one of the advantages of a tube system is that you don't have to really work to break the bead. And let's see how it slides. Supposedly one of the advantages of the carbon tire lever is that it's safe on both carbon and aluminum rims. This may be tougher than I thought. Oh, there it goes. All right, so one thing off the bat, just using this, is if you notice the edges here, they are very square. So when you're applying a lot of force, they do dig into your hands. As opposed to the Pedro's lever, where it is square-ish, it does have a bigger profile and a little bit more rounded corners. So as you're applying force to remove the tire, it's not slicing into your hand. So I would say in terms of ergonomics, would definitely prefer the Pedro's lever a little bit better. Just use a different angle to use the fatter part of my hand to act as more of a buffer. So okay, that was good. Took one side of the tire off. So already a little bit of abrasion that's showing. Yeah, so there's that. What else? Okay, let's pop off the other side here. So it has achieved removing the first tire Okay, so let's get this Kava tire on there, 27.5 by 2.1 inch with a bunch of studs, tap shoes, as I like to call them. Definitely a hefty tire, man. This is not the typical light and supple, but again, this isn't about light and supple. This is about not falling on your butt in the ice, which we have a lot of here. What is the direction? You'd think like they'd make the direction on tires a little bit more obvious. Okay, so front, okay, this way. Front is that way, so we're gonna go this way. I'm not super anal about lining up the valve with a logo. I'm sure many of you are. I'm not that person, so you're gonna have to live with it. I've successfully got one side of the tire on, so I'm actually gonna put the valve back in and put a little bit of air in the tube so it will keep me from putting the tube in funny and getting a pinch flat. So much tire. All right, yay! Got it on without using a tire lever. Okay, let's pump it up with some air, see how it does. All right, so this is the tire. Got some fat meats. Again, the 485 North Kaba, 27.5 by 2.1 inch. Review on these tires coming soon, now that it has snowed again. And this is what the tire lever looks like after one use. So a little bit of abrasion. I don't think it's structurally damaged. I'm gonna do one more tire with it, and we'll see what it looks like after the second one. Pulling it out like so, and I'm going to position it so when I apply force, it's hitting the fleshy side of the palm, just because that is the most comfortable. Okay, so this one went a lot smoother. So one thing I did notice is that I changed my grip. So as I applied force in that direction, it was hitting a real fatty part of my hand, as well as tucking my fingers into this little concave area. That seemed like the best hand position for me. It's all in the details. So this is the tire lever after removing 2 tires. I don't think it got considerably worse than after the first tire. Some surface scratching on this part, but it doesn't look structural. But again, not a carbon fiber engineer, so don't quote me on that. Okay, got the other tire we're gonna install. You're mounted on one side of the wheel. Just rolling on this last little bit. Yay, got it. All right. Didn't have to use the lever. Let's put some air in this guy. All right, so studded tire number 2 is mounted, and yeah, there you go, ready for winter. So what do I think of this fancy schmancy carbon fiber tire lever? In terms of does it do what it's supposed to do as a tire lever in the platonic sense, yes it does. I was able to successfully remove a pair of tires using the lever. This is probably one of the easier situations this tire lever would get into. It's not a tubeless setup with a really tight grip, so it will be interesting to see how this fares in those kinds of situations. I will say, because of its really narrow edge here, if you are in a situation where you have to apply a lot of force, the edge does have a tendency to kind of dig into your palm. So it will take some kind of finessing to find that grip that works for you, where you can apply sufficient force but not have it dig into your palm. I think it's a pretty interesting take on a tire lever. This definitely falls under one of those products which is a upscaled or elevated version of a common item. Think of like the Spur Cycle bell, right? Who would have thought people would pay 50 bucks for a bike bell, but here we are. This does something similar for tire levers. I think if there's someone in your life who is a super roadie weight weenie, then this might be a fun gift for them. But for me personally, I think I will stick to the Pedros. I mean, I love that it comes in fun colors, it's stupid cheap, and because it has a thicker profile, despite, being about 8 grams heavier than this guy, it is more comfortable in those high pressure applications. All that said, I will be giving away this particular pair of carbon fiber tire levers to someone in our Patreon group. So if you guys are a Patreon, look for that post soon, ask you a quick question, and I will pick an answer that amuses me. And you will be getting this very fancy schmancy ultralight carbon fiber tire lever. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, keep the supple side down.